Fans are demanding that both Lin Dunn and Christy Sides step down from the Fever organization.
13 and now we won 20. And so I'm real pleased with the progress that we've made, the talent that we have, the job that the coaches and the players did.
Lin Dunn's post-game joke about a potential third game in Indiana against the Sun didn't sit well with Clark fans, and it sparked serious backlash.
Dearest, let's go back to let's have one game in Indy. He said, there is no way I'm going to do anything to allow my team to get out of this arena. And I said, well, I don't blame you. I said, because we will have 19,000 people ready for you. And he said, I don't want to go back to Indy. But our players deserved a chance to play.
Christy Sides' coaching decisions are baffling. After building a 30-point lead, the Fever allowed it to slip away, and instead of keeping Caitlin Clark involved, who had scored or assisted on half the offense, they took her off the ball. It's unacceptable. A coaching change feels inevitable.
The new reset timeout Indiana has not yet used. Chicago.
I wanted her to not be aggressive and take shots. I really thought when she went out in transition after that free throw, I thought she was gonna take it to the rim or pull up right there. That would have been a great shot for her.
Caitlin Clark has been the driving force behind the Fever's success, but growing doubts surround head coach Christy Sides. While their relationship showed some early tension, a late-season surge quieted much of the criticism. Still, with Indiana exiting in the first round of the playoffs, spotlight is back, and serious questions about Sides' future can no longer be ignored.
That people felt like Christy didn't have a great relationship with Caitlin. They were calling for Lisa Bluter to come back in, or who should coach her, calling for her job to be fired, etc.
Meanwhile, the Aces have a crucial game on the horizon. Zaya Wilson expected to shine once again. Analysts are increasingly vocal about the lack of attention she receives compared to Caitlin Clark, calling it a clear injustice to one of the league's most dominant players.
So 28 years old, 1,000 points in the regular season. Why is that not the biggest story out at the moment? And why are we talking about Caitlin Clark?
Why when Asia was releasing the shoe were we talking about Caitlin?
Calls are growing louder for Lin Dunn to step down as general manager and for Christy Sides to be replaced as head coach of the Indiana Fever. Frustration is mounting, not just from fans, but from analysts and even former players, all citing a pattern of questionable decisions and missed opportunities that have left the team stagnating. Let's address the elephant in the room. Christy Sides' game management has been deeply concerning. This isn't just about the Fever's win-loss record, it's about how she's handled critical moments. One glaring issue? Timeouts. They're a fundamental tool for any coach to stop momentum and settle their team. Yet time and again, we've watched the Fever spiral in high-pressure situations while Sides stood by without calling one. It's puzzling, it's frustrating, and frankly, it's unacceptable at this level.
The person who has the hardest job in the WNBA, and it's Christy Sides. You know why? Because having the #1 recruit and the person who is being credited for largely transforming fandom, viewership, sales, everything in the WNBA, and then having a 1-8 start, that's a tough job to take on as a second-year coach, only having 1 year under your belt as a head coach, and now you've got to coach the #1 draft pick that everybody thinks has to be successful.
And it doesn't stop there. Sid's decision-making when it comes to substitutions has been another major point of frustration. Caitlin Clark nearly played as much basketball as the NBA players play. Far too often we see her pulling players who are just starting to get into a rhythm or leading in those who are clearly struggling. Her instincts seem off, to say the least, and it's hard not to wonder if this is one of the major reasons the Fever have had such an inconsistent season.
And so to be able to see this team go in the 3-year period from 5 to 13 to 20 sold out arenas, not only at home but on the road, it means the world to me.
Speaking of supporting players, we have to talk about Caitlin Clark, a generational talent who's been nothing short of phenomenal this season. She's carried the Fever, pushing them beyond what many thought possible. But as bright as her star shines, it's becoming increasingly clear that she's not getting the coaching support she needs to truly thrive. Clark can't do it all on her own. Great players still need a coach who knows when to step in, when to shield them, and when to make the right calls to maximize their impact. That hasn't been the case with Christy Sides. From mishandled timeouts to questionable substitutions and shaky late-game strategies, Sides has struggled to meet the moment. There's a growing belief, and not just among fans, that with stronger leadership, this team could be so much more. The Fever don't just need a superstar, they need a coach who knows what to do with one. Right now, It's hard to argue that Sides is that coach.
Team with the worst defensive rating in the league, and you know you need a good defender. How do you not play her, then waive her? While it's frustrating, I'm not too surprised. It's been a common theme lately to see high draft picks get waived or cut earlier in their careers in the W. We saw it a lot last season, especially in training camp. This is a huge L for the...
Let's be real, Caitlin Clark has carried the Indiana Fever all season. The team's success? That's on her, not Christy Sides. Clark has been the engine, the spark, the leader, whatever metaphor you want to use, she's been it. Whether she was dropping deep threes, threading pinpoint passes, or delivering in clutch moments, she consistently rose to the occasion. Under pressure, she delivered. Over and over, without Caitlin, it's hard to even picture the Fever sniffing the playoffs, let alone competing at the level they did. And yet, somehow, Christy Sides is getting a surprising amount of credit for the team's performance. But let's not get it twisted, Clark did the heavy lifting. The wins, the momentum, the national spotlight, that's Caitlin's impact.
In her own right, she's going to be a superstar in this league for years to come. She's clearly the Rookie of the Year. She's the MVP candidate, even though she's behind Asia Wilson. And the Indiana Fever going to be in the...
So that, as you've been saying, it takes time, it takes, connection, chemistry, effort, and just helping those people gel. And I love what is going on in the Indiana Fever organization. And whoever was going to be the coach of this young lady in the pros was going to probably have that journey. And I think I'm going to say it, whether you agree with me or not in the comments, you were the right